Check, check, check. Is this thing on?
Just looking into the chat now, guys. People be chirping, chirping people. they don't understand. But they keep tripping. Welcome in Renee, welcome in Patricia, welcome in James, Dorothy, Kitty, Emma, Naja, Ed is in the house. Okay.
Better? Better? You know what's frustrating, collective? You know what's frustrating, collective? Constantly having to repeat myself. I guess I keep repeating myself for the people in the back. The lurking gherkins. Sipping on my coffee. A little SMR, I guess. I don't know. I thought I'd try a different perspective tonight. More tabletop version. I see we got a lot of members in the house. It's nice to see ya. Have a members live there. I'm not sure if you got the notification, but I think I deleted it. Just give me a second here. There we go. And all of a sudden it was quiet. On a warm autumn evening. Happy autumn, everybody. Unless the cards tell me different, I don't have anything good to say. Other than I'm grateful to be here, to be able to hang out with my tribe. And unfortunately, after all the work I've done here on my channel, I don't know. I'm not giving up and I'm not quitting. Just where do I go from here? It's a big question. And I think a lot of us are thinking and feeling the same thing. If not for me, but for themselves. Oh. Okay. Interesting. What gives you that idea? Mr. Springer. I think Martin's just literally outing themselves in my chat. No, I'm actually kind of interested as to where he got all this really wild information. It's kind of wanting to make me get my popcorn and sit down and listen to somebody's rumor. I just want to know how bad they get or how crazy they get. So far, it's off the hook. I don't think I would be a demon because I eat them for... I'm definitely a demisexual. And, a witch? Is that a butch witch? I'm not sure what you're saying there. Either way, I find it humorous. Somebody's got some major insecurities that they need to fix. And it's not me. Yes, very good, class. It is It is projection. Very, very good. We're learning something. I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so proud of you. See? Every once in a while, a troll rolling through is a good lesson to learn from. Yeah. Anyhow. Let's see what we got going on in the cards. Great Spirit, guides, guards, protectors, angels, ancestors, divine light. Is there anything demonic about that? I don't think so. Please guide, guard, and protect us during this journey of discovery. Please allow us to know what we need to know right now. I figure I would do a little collective to start off the evening, so that way you get the best of both worlds. But Spirit, I'm going to ask, what should we talk about in tonight's discussion? What should we talk, what subjects need to be spoken on, okay? I did have a chat member want me to talk about different types of protection. I have a way to protect yourself. The ultimate one is healing, because as you heal, you start making boundaries and good judgment. You stand in your power, you call your power back. You call on your ancestors, your angels. Alright, so we have the Four of Swords. Okay, so this is about resting, about taking time out for you, just to unwind and unplug. That's what I've been doing in the last couple days. Yes, you know what? I've had an attitude because I'm absolutely exhausted from the constant warfare that people keep piling onto their karmic debt. I'm just sitting here kind of giggling, yet shaking my head at these imbeciles that are literally digging themselves a hole and sacrificing themselves to no good cause. And people wonder why I'm so frustrated. People wonder why I'm constantly repeating myself. How many other ways am I supposed to say it? Am I supposed to translate it now? I thought that was YouTube's job. When you go to the point of being courageous enough in your endeavors to focus on yourself, instead of sabotaging someone else's existence, wreaking havoc and throwing rocks in their way, and then you sit there and bitch at the receive, that you fumbled the favor and the favor walked away. And not only did they try to bleed me dry, I believe you could probably do this in some sort of way, collective. We're all at our ends of our wits. People have free will. They're welcome to do what they wish. But when they come back at the last minute, trying to get a second chance at redemption, these people ruin our lives, collective. We've taken the time to take our own accountability and step into the best version of ourselves, and they can't handle it. So all they can think of for a good thing to do is rip us down from where we're moving to. Sabotage after sabotage after roadblock after roadblock after red tape. All because they can't compete where they don't compare. They're on an entirely different journey than yours. How they feel envious. And instead of leaving well enough alone, they choose to add red tape and more stones. Not realizing that every stone, every bit of red tape, conflict that they put in our way is creating more karmic debt for them. Thinking they're actually with it. And now all of a sudden when the tables turn, now all of a sudden when they're all full of anxiety and pain because everything is falling apart for them, instead of taking accountability, they think that it's us. They think we're doing bullshit in the dark. We don't have to. If you're divinely guided, guarded, and protected, you don't have to lift a damn finger. Because your ancestors take care of that shit. And they don't miss. And you're not playing anymore, collective. The last 3 or 4 days I've been getting this overall message is that the collective needs to take a step back and just observe for a moment and get your bearings before you make any drastic measures or actions. Take a step back. I get there's a lot of civil unrest across nations, and it's not seeming to get any better. So this is where we are vigilant. This is where we are deliberate and methodical in our actions. Doing our best to stay out of the fray and to stand in sovereignty, personal choice. This is where we need to start working together in our communities. It's about to get very interesting. And I'm not going to be here to spell it out. Because we still have choice. Individually, active. Out of everything, we still have choice. Take a moment to really think about that. How many other ways can I say that out of all the people that you've ever met in your life, you are the one that you've been searching for your whole life? But oddly enough, we try to search for that in other people. When we've always had it. We just failed to recognize it. We've forgotten to take into consideration the fact that we can see. Not only with our eyes, but with our mind. We can feel, not only with our hearts, but with our hands. And we can think, not only with our mind, but with our intention and our authenticity and our universal sovereignty. Unless we choose peace, it will not exist. There's always been a better way. Take going within to get there. Because as you go within, you move up. And as you ascend, you learn. And you graduate. This journey is a test of your will. It's a test of It's a test of your mind and your heart. If you are a chosen, an earth angel, a star seed, a shaman, a light worker, hoodoo, voodoo, witch, whichever else, if you have some sort of sheep anointing, you may have your relationships very, very taxing right now. And you're being tested right now. See as to whether or not this connection and this soul tie is irrelevant or not. There's a lot of earth angels being awakened. So if things have been really intense for you for the last year, maybe 2 years, it's been a roller coaster, welcome to the club. Sorry, we just freshly ran out of cookies. It's very difficult for anointed or an enlightened one to be in a relationship. Because you have vowed, and the people that know what I'm talking about will know what I'm talking about. The ones that don't, it's not for you. But the ones that have vowed to follow your mission here on Earth, and this was probably with your sister. It's almost with that anointing, like moths to a flame. Not only do you graduate, but you also different frequency as you evolve. As you go through the different stages of realigning and breaking free, shall we say, of the south node energy centers, and you move into your north node, it's a totally different shift. And if you know what I'm talking about, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then you're not. And it wasn't for you. If you've been doing the work, I shouldn't have to repeat myself, and you should understand exactly what I'm saying right now. By doing the healing and clearing out your south node energy centers, and moving into your north node energy, that brings a whole element of protection in itself. That older frequency, that sad frequency, it can no longer touch you. Because you've cleared it. You've balanced it. These idiots out here, these karmics, thinking that they're going to come in and project a whole bunch of energy and that you're not going to tap in and figure that out. The fact that you realize that it's all spiritual warfare, the fact that you know that what they are sending you is simply chaos and glamour magic to get you distracted. Meanwhile, what they don't understand is you've already reached to where you've been and where you've needed to go 3 times already. And here they're trying to keep you from reaching your North Node and reaching Nirvana, thinking that you haven't reached it yet. Such imbeciles. Three times already. And people wonder why I don't need a book. I can tap in anytime I want. And nothing will deter that. There's not an imbecile, a degenerate out there who will fuck with it. It is protected by divine light. And it's pretty sad that people have to throw out a whole bunch of rumors and take pictures of me and put me up on different sites that I don't even partake in and do stupid shit to try to defame me and lie on my name, throwing out a whole bunch of gossip and rumors that doesn't even apply to me. They're memories. If you want the true situation, there's even people trying to say that they've met me and they've been in my life and they haven't even looked at me face to face. And I know that. There's people from my past going around getting clout for thinking that they know me. And they don't know this version of me. They would have to reintroduce themselves at this point. I mean, I've already died in my car. What more do you want? Most hookers wanted me dead in a ditch. But the divine had other plans. So, if you're trying to make me suffer yet again, you're taking that up with the divine, not me. I was shown the way. I was shown the truth. And everybody in the earth has been deceived. I've been trying to share that information with you, so that way you can be enlightened as well. Some of you are actually tapping in, and others, you're thinking it's totally insignificant. If that's your choice, you can live with it. No judgment, no shade. But then there's these imbeciles that thinking that thinking that won over on me, thinking that I won't tap the fuck in and figure it out. Thinking as though that I don't already. For some degree, I don't speak on it. Why? I shouldn't have to. Anyway, anything thrown at me to thwart my rise will become their demise. I find it really sad that people think that they can put death magic on me. And then they go ahead and have people around them pass away. And they have not lifted a finger. And quite frankly, I don't have to do magic on other people. They usually dig a big enough hole for themselves to fall into. And again, if they get real cocky, the ants don't miss. And they love to haunt and make things go bump in the night. And this is why I don't have to lift a finger. Oh, I still very well could, but I don't. If people knew better, the vast majority of magic would be done on oneself, rather than doing magic on someone else. Why would you waste your precious energy on an imbecile? Why would you not transmute that into power? It makes literally no sense. And it really shows how novice they really are. Healing, the most powerful way to protect yourself. Creating boundaries, raising your standards, raising the bar, not settling for less, being accountable and showing up, be noble, be respectful, be authentic. That's the name of the game in the new earth, where we finally get to be ourselves. Where we finally get to branch out and follow our passions. This is why it's so important to heal, because each and every single one of us raises the frequency for everyone. Individual and as a collective. We can very well eradicate the karmic energy by healing. Reconciliation. But this doesn't mean we have to take their shit again. They can either show up right or show the fuck out. To the rumor going around about me apparently selling myself, it is untrue. It is false. It is a lie. Anybody hearing anything regarding myself, you might want to reach out to me to get the full story before you believe anything. Because there's a lot of lies out there about me. Because people couldn't understand me. People didn't understand what I embodied. Hell, for quite a while, I didn't even understand what I embodied. But every day I'm getting to know a little bit more and a little bit more. I've been learning a lot. And just a little FYI to the stalkers. How is it sitting there doing absolutely nothing? Waiting for a lot and having to sit through the grueling video? It's clearly not up your alley. How is it nothing? Weeks and weeks and weeks on end, just sitting there looking at nothing. Why? Because I don't go anywhere. This supposed isolation that my ops have tried to put me into has become a solitude. It has become a healing time, healing period from your bullshit. And if you think you got me backed around in a corner, then why has it been attempt after attempt after attempt after attempt, and you still come up empty-handed? Interesting. I mean, all the death magic you guys threw at me. How's that working out for you? Clearly, I'm still here. Clearly, the divine has other plans. Great Spirit, what's the message for my beautiful collective? My beautiful tribe? Welcome in, everybody. It's nice to see that we have 22 in the chat watching. We've got 16 likes. Go ahead and tap in and hit the like. You can go ahead and double click the screen as well. If you're new here, check out the description box. You can order a reading. They are still open. The world is shit, and we need to just be careful what we're hanging on to. Because you don't want to be hanging on to a crumbling piece of shit, you know, because it's not going to work with giving you any type of stability. I mean, I've had to walk away from pretty well anyone and everyone that I've ever felt close to. And so it's been a wild ride. Right off the top, Spirit. We got the world. We got the world. So this is about finally learning some sort of lessons and leveling up, collective. And we have the Ace of Wands. This is about a brand new passionate beginning. The sun, it's about leaving it in the dark. Interesting. There's something here with the Ace of Swords about some sort of clarity and moving forward, finally. And I'm getting a lot of closure with this card. And I'm really picking up on the Four of Swords with this. This clarity is going to bring rest, peace of mind. The Devil here is in the reverse on the bottom of the deck. And we've got the Three of Cups on the top. So there's definitely an eradication of toxicity or some devil energy. There's definitely some sort of a celebration of this, being able to have a new beginning. Yeah, this is after a great loss. Huge loss. But it's almost as if in hindsight, collective, what you might be thinking that you're losing, in hindsight, after the fact, after things calm down, you're going to know that it was kind of a blessing in disguise. It's almost as if you dodged a bullet. Yep, you had to make a major judgment call. This toxic energy is facing judgment. And this is, to some degree, something to celebrate. There is judgment being had by this loss that will be of a celebration. It will bring you great rest. It will bring you great clarity about a toxic energy. This will allow you to move forward. This will bring a lot of peace of mind and closure. And if you ever understand or ever wanting to know if you made the right decision, collective, you did. It's always important to choose yourself above all else. For if you cannot stand strong, then who can you stand for? There's left behind that is going through a dark night of the soul. And for what they've done to you, collective, you are getting justice. They had this thought to get you to miss out on that blessing. But the wheel of fortune is in your favor. And it's all because you didn't necessarily walk away, but you healed those internal wounds. And I believe they're of people-pleasing, of giving where you didn't have left of any for yourself. It kept you from moving forward and creating balance. By you always trying to balance on in everyone else's, it brought chaos. But you do have the upper hand over a betrayal regarding a King of Cups in reverse. They tried to destroy your foundation. However, the divine was always watching and gave you a new footing to stand on. Despite the lies and disrespect on your name, you were shown compassion and the way forward. You've done so much work, collective. The ones that have, the ones that have began to love themselves, you are being brought to a frequency of love again. Someone is trying to fight this, which will land them in spiritual jail. Because you have every right, Emperor, Empress, Starseed, Chosen One, Earth Angel. You have every right to be the leader that you wish to be. You have every right, every sovereignty, every individual choice to become the best version of yourself. You're allowed to learn and grow and evolve into a better version of yourself. And quite frankly, it's encouraged. And unfortunately for some, and their dealings and antics to try to bring yours and your ability to become the most highest version of yourself, most authentic version of you. They try to sabotage this. Bound from many gifts that they've had, and they're bound from doing harm. Harm against other people and harm against themselves. As above, so below, as within, so without, and so it is. These imbeciles are fucking around and finding out the hard way. Sometimes the hardest way is the best lesson. And for those of you that are all butthurt at the bindings that I've already done, and you're sitting here lurking and all pessimistic as to the fact that you are still bound, may I add, all of my bindings will be released at the time and the only time as to when you find perfect love and perfect trust in your heart. Which requires you to heal. Heal your burdens, your sadness, your woes, and release them and join us in the evolution of Mother Gaia. There's always been a way out. There's always been mercy. But you first must have mercy on yourself before you can have mercy on anyone else. Great Spirit, what's the message? What's the message for my collective? Can we get a good message, please? Give us some sort of hope for the future. Yay, the 5 of Swords and the 7 of Swords reversed. So after great turmoil, after great chaos, there will be 7-fold blessings, collective. This is a great betrayal. This one rocked your world. And not in a good rock and roll kind of way. More like a death metal. However, you travel differently now. You're a lot more alert. You're a little bit more discerning. You're a little wiser with who you share your energy with. You're guarded, guided, and protected by something that you don't even understand. All it requires you to do, collective, is nurture your truth. Nurture your sovereign truth. Nothing more, nothing less. It is in the great remembering of who you are. That is your pathway forward. You must go within. That is the only way. It's very unfortunate that most of the populace betrayed themselves. It was all based off the lies and deception of the program. A lot of you are finding that clicking just as I'm saying that. You're starting to We will not look at the world the same again, collective. Please prepare yourself. This is not a test. This isn't even a live fire exercise. This is real life. And it turns out that it's a lot more serious and precious than we could have ever had thought. The biggest game change is the banishing of the feeling of feeling helpless. Remembering and recognizing your own inner power, into it, leaning into it. Having faith and belief in oneself. Knowing that that same divine light is within you. Everybody wants to go around on autopilot and think life is just a joke. All the world's stage, and it's all a bunch of puppets. Not realizing that That autopilot is just the matrix. We have the ultimate choice to rise above and disconnect, or we could utilize the matrix to our benefit. It's all in perspective. Just be very, very discerning as to what you're holding on to. Because there are a lot of different sections. There are a lot of different areas of life that will change, that will morph, that will be eradicated and cease to exist. And it will come to a choice as to whether or not you want to work together with your community to bring about a change. I do feel and I do see that coming after a time of great stubbornness. It's not about submission or compliance. It's about sovereignty. It's about personal choice. I will bring it to a place where there will be no choice. As much as I do have hope for the future, I feel for a lot of us it's too late. For a lot of the souls on earth, you will be compensated. Whatever you've done, whatever you've been through, whatever you've gone through, you will be compensated. This ultimately was not supposed to happen. Do we still have a chance? Yes. Very, very narrow. It would have to declare a declaration of peace worldwide. And that means there's an end to war and eradicated across the planet. We will come together as nations and break bread and compromise. Giving sovereignty to native dwellers. Making sure that everyone has a voice, because everyone's voice is important. Anyone in this time and place is a witness, is an observer, a watcher, a healer, bringer of light. The moment that we are so much more than the program that we've been programmed into is where we take our power back. But if we fail to rise, if we fail to find the courage within our hearts and our soul to rise above. History will then repeat. We have the ability to rise and evolve, and we choose to sabotage it instead. How many times are we to do this? Has humanity literally insane? Or are we just allowing the insane asylum to run things? If people didn't have so much struggle, I doubt they would have to be worrying about going out and doing stupid shit to survive. If there were no homeless on the street, and if our imbalances in our reality were actually taken seriously, maybe our moods and the so-called depression and imbalance in our brain would balance out. Wouldn't that to be able to regulate our nervous system, to be able to be feeling safe walking down the street? Wouldn't that be a wonderful idea? And maybe if we were to able to regulate our nervous system, we know what we really want out of our life, instead of being in fight or flight and always scurrying to the next safe spot, rather than being able to dig roots and plant roots. What is it going to take collectively? I thought about creating a sanctuary, a place on earth where we could all just chill and hang out. And then I got to thinking maybe we can turn that into the whole world. I shouldn't have to sanctuary when Mother Gaia is a sanctuary in herself. Maybe if we all woke up and became the watchers of Mother Gaia and the keepers of Mother, the way we have always been through millennia. We've lost our way to this distraction, this matrix of control. It's taken away from our connection to spirit and to nature. There's not a person on earth that nature and Mother Gaia has not called. It's whether or not you answered the call or not. First shall be last, and the last shall be first, will only materialize if we work together. Some people have a wrong idea of to the way that looks like. Their intentions are rather selfish. And whoever they choose to be, they will not succeed in intervention and divine vengeance. These people have cursed their bloodline of their children's children. They cannot and will not be sustained in the new earth. Certain frequencies that will be eradicated. Their frequency can no longer stood here. As we release the panic and anxiety, so shall it be released. Anxiety, depression is all a form of spiritual warfare. This includes any type of onset of pain. Those that have ill intention are being bound. Their gifts are being stripped because of their ill intention, because of the chaos they ensue. There are laws, universal laws, on the use of magic and how it is used, and it has been abused for the last millennia. So this is why you see the karmics' masks falling off. This is why you see them going rampant, losing their absolute fucking minds. Because not only are they being called out, but they are being haunted. And this collective is by divine order and divine intervention. This is also associated with source consciousness rising again in the hearts of humanity. It was never supposed to be Christ consciousness. It was the closest connection to that source consciousness. Because, again, you have been deceived. Christ recognized the divine light of life itself within him. Just as I have. Just as he was sacrificed and left for dead, so have I. And by divine intervention, he lives. His message lives. He's a little tired of people worshiping him, but he lives. He lives through you, through his memory. And through that memory, he wants you to remember. As above, so below. Within the mind and in the heart. As within, so without. Within the body and higher self. Your higher self is this divine light. The recognition, the confirmation, the clarity, the more of us stepping into our North Node energy, the better. And time is of the essence. We are hitting a precipice of no return. It is extremely crucial that we take a step back and we discern our next course of action. And this is nations across the world. Some nations have gone too far as is. Nations are absolutely despicable. They should be ashamed of themselves and all that they represent. However, everyone has a plan and everyone has in this. Too much has gone on to point fingers. Too much has gone on to blame anyone. The root cause of this is hereditary. The problems that we face are millenniums old. A lot of these problems, a lot of these curses, a lot of these challenges, when looking in hindsight, some of them will be irreversible. This is why we need to use our discernment. If it does not agree with your sovereignty as an authentic being, and it does not match with your frequency, allow your intuition to guide you. Allow your common sense, your mind, and your heart to be in balance, which is done through healing. People are wondering why I'm so unbothered with world news and the currents of what it is. I realized a long time ago, as one person, I can only make ripples. As a group, I might be able to make splashes. But unless the collective is all on board, we will not see change in the world. This isn't about subjecting yourself or submitting to the matrix. This is about stepping into your authenticity and sovereignty as a human, part of humanity. Up for the Constitution, free rights and free commerce, to be successful, to be able to be independent. The only way we will see peace is if we work together, and it's your inner frequency. There is no other way around it. It's just so helpless. Because each and every single one of you are a powerhouse. And you fail to recognize that. You fail to recognize the magic that you have within you. And if you do recognize it, you question it. And this is one thing I did not understand about the karmics. Thinking that they're going to go and steal other people's. Because their own has been bound. By the divine, no less. Again, I am just the messenger. So these karmics are be thinking that they're going to go and steal somebody else's blessings and abilities and keep them for their own. Little do they know, they are pretty well sentencing their bloodline to purgatory. They're adding curses to their bloodline, to their children's children. And this is how we continuously perpetuate and continue the madness. Because somebody's always envious and butthurt and sad they can't compete or they can't compare to the next person. Isn't that ironic? When everybody should be ultimately having skin and be grateful that they have skin to be in. Even though they've totally forgotten their mission. Every single one of us has abilities, but we fail to believe in ourselves. Every single one of us has the ability to world. But because of the current matrix, it literally makes it impossible. But I do believe if enough of us rise, we will be unstoppable. Fructose intolerant, and ready to build a new planet and evolve instead of disintegrate. Get back to the true health and balance through true medicine, not the mad science that they're trying to push. Yes, there is still room for AI and computers and electronics. But they should ultimately make it easier. Clearly living in the grand scheme of things is a challenge enough. The moment that you recognize the same essence of divine light that was within your heart is within your heart, and the moment you start to connect the dots as to the reason why that is so special and so sacred, is the moment that everything changes for you, collective. There are certain people out there trying to create chaos where there is none. They're trying to create worry where they're trying to create unrest and chaos because there is none. And it will be up to us to discern what we do about those situations. My question is, there's many nations standing together, and they're standing in solidarity, and they're standing for a particular cause. If we were to create a plan of action to the betterment of our communities, instead of wasting time walking around with signs, and we actually started planning and making good things happen, our survival will rely on it. We have the technology to sustain. We have the ability of import. We have the ability to grow food year-round. We just have to invest in it. We have ways to clean the water. We have ways to collect the water. We have ways to filter the water to be able to obtain more drinking water. There are many different ways to benefit. You are within the balance of the ecosystem. If you work with the ecosystem, it will work with you. And whatever you put into it, you will receive in harvest. Just as the seeds that you planted at the beginning of the year in March, May, March, and April, are the seeds that you are harvesting if you tended to those seeds throughout the year. You will be given a universal harvest at this time. October is supposed to be a very much a mystical month of magic. To those that have been doing the work, and to those that are transforming into your most authentic version of yourself, some of you are in alignment to receive blessings because of that hard work. I'm also hearing these are gifts by divine order, which means they are protected, which means no one can touch them, which means your name on them, no one else's. Some of you, collective things are going to change. And for others of you, it's going to stay the same. Mainly for the karmics. Because of their stubbornness and failure to alchemize and transmute and transform into the highest version of themselves and be a part of the evolution of Mother Earth. I hate to bring it about, and I just on them. But some of them will meet their demise. But their demise will not be what would have normally been the case. There are certain souls that will no longer be in rotation. The divine is making a judgment call. And this is why the intelligence of the new generations is peaking to a different level unseen before. There's reasons for that. It's to balance out the imbalance that is that karma. In the last 5 years was in way sabotage that evolution and to gain control of it for themselves. Not realizing they've just cursed their and they are gradually fading away into nothingness because of their crimes against humanity. These souls will ultimately go to purgatory, where they will reside for the rest of existence, of life itself. When you have to get certain light systems and certain entities from different parts of the universe to come in and knock on our window and say, hey, attention. Hey, grow the fuck up. Hey, you're doing that wrong. When we have to have alien life come in and tell us, yo, pipe down over here. Your ego's getting a little bit too big. You might want to open up your eyes and ears and have a little listen. We are at the brink of breaking universal law. And quite frankly, the divine has been quite lenient on earth. Because it is a place of negative and positive polarities, of evil and darkness and love and light. Given a bit of a leeway as in a way of an experiment. But they're fearing it is jeopardizing humanity and the evolution of the planet. And this is why they are coming in. This is why they are making contact. If they have to take control, they will. But it's ultimately up to us and our free choice. And this is about the great awakening. And this is where you find your empowerment. This is where you find your hope. This is where you find purpose. This is where you find your inspiration, allowing your intuition to guide you. Nothing more, nothing less. There's a message that the nations of the world must stand down. Any major changes is futile. Specifically in an ill intention against humanity. All lives matter. If you are here in this time and place, you have a purpose. There's a deep calling from within that some of you have been ignoring. Some of you have been questioning and overthinking. It's been calling to you since you were younger. It always had you in a place of wonderment. It played and danced with your courage and imagination. It brought fire and inspiration and courage to your heart. To love, to experience. And be in compassion. But the cruel world tried to change, tried to shape you. Specifically into something that you are not, that you will never be, and that you would never ever become. And it is meant to be that way to make you feel incomplete. To make you always search for more. And I bring it back to the fact that you are the one you've been searching for. The one that has been forgotten. The one that has been abandoned. Without you, what could they really ask of you? For you to become something that you're not, what could they really ask of you? Absolutely nothing. Do you see the chaos now? Trying to fit yourself into a mold that you've never meant to fit in. Trying to strive for that perfect relationship with someone else when you're missing out on the best relationship that you could have with yourself. That very equation helps you be in alignment to receive a soulmate union, meeting at 100%, no longer 50-50. In total and utter alignment, divinely guided, guarded, and protected divine union. It's one thing to be a miraculous magician as a single person, but to be in a divine union, no matter what that looks like, and to be able to click together and create life. It's more sacred than you could even wrap your head around. But we got these karmic mamas and papas out here thinking they know what they're doing. And they have not a clue. They're a glutton for punishment, I'll say that much. Because all the karma that they deal with and bitch out, they bring about onto themselves. Not only they do that, they try to bring down anyone that is trying to be above them. So they try to drag other high vibrational individuals into their drama to make them feel better. The discernment, the discernment is real, collective. If you were to pray for something, discernment is one of them. To know who you share energy with, to know their true intentions, and to some degree read them like a book. When you start your divine journey, you are anointed. You are covered. You become that light. And this is why people feel uncomfortable. That light they do not understand because they are too stubborn to look. We all have ultimately personal choice. Are we to the call, collective? Are we going to choose? Or are we going to give up ourselves and our sovereignty to the matrix? This is the precipice we are at right now. What is your purpose? What is your calling? What is calling to you? What is it trying to say to you? These are all questions you need to ask yourself on this journey. What are the lessons before you? Your life, the trials and tribulations you've overcome to get you to this point. In this time and space. Collective, you have endured more than most. And you need to recognize your success, your evolution. How far and how far you progressed. You are not the same person you were. You've evolved. You understand things in a totally different light than what you have. Things are becoming clear to you more and more each day. Don't question it. You are being shown certain things in your life to observe, to be a witness, and to stand for a cause that you feel passionate about. The changes that we make to ourselves, we make for the collective. The changes and transformations that we have within ourselves will ultimately shape our world. And everything that you've overcome, all the challenges and tribulations, is part of your legacy, part of your story. And no one can take that from you. As much as they try, no one can touch it. The divine is the end-all, say-all in the control. But the divine also recognizes our own free will of what we choose to obtain and show our attention to. It is ultimately our choice. The question is, will we make the right choices to balance things out or to bring about a none of the planet? Because we are on the road of making it inhabitable, uninhabitable. And no climate change initiative is going to change that. We have to think of things differently. We have to change our perspective. The only way out of this is through this. There is no other planet that is sufficient enough for us to go to. Any other planets, they do not want our company. Some of these planets that hold the souls are of a higher frequency. The ability for us to live there in physical form is not possible. Your soul has to be at a higher frequency. So for them that they do not have a job to do, and that they don't know their mission, and that ignorance is bliss, and thinking that they are going to get away from it. Meanwhile, they've been many times to which you've tuned them out. That is ultimately your choice. But by choosing that, let me paint a perspective. Not only are you forfeiting your divine gifts, but you are also forfeiting your divine inheritance. Your divine gifts are only brought about through initiation and servitude. It is brought about through intention, knowledge, and belief in one's power. Surrender to the divine is a vow that you make not only to the divine, but you make that to yourself. This is standing on the ability to no longer betray yourself. To always stand for righteousness and justice, integrity, authenticity, nobility, clarity and truth, and justice. To be a watcher, to be a keeper, to be an observer and a healer is all under the same umbrella. Just in itself brings back a particular perspective to source consciousness. Some of us are just here to simply witness. Some of us are here to mute that of the negative energy into positive energy. There are some of you here that are here to fight the good fight, and to fight and to stand for sovereignty, standing for humanity. We are being called in this time and place to stand. Are you going to answer the call? We all are called. Every single one are called. The question is, will you choose to be chosen? Will you choose to rise up and raise the bar? There's no guidebook, for you must allow your heart to guide you. Allow your compassion to move you, to inspire you, to your purpose, guided by that inner light and inner compass. You will find your map. You will find your direction. It's only a matter of time and space. By now you're noticing I did not stutter. A lot of my predictions have already come to pass. Some of them rather frightening. Collective, we need to brace ourselves. The changes that are about to happen on the planet are going to wake us up. Reality that we sort of, in the back parts of our mind and consciousness, we already knew. This is where the discernment comes in. This is where stepping back comes in and observing. Thinking through, being methodical with our message and our actions. I really not have any other way of how to say it. I've done nothing but do my best to be a support for people. I get shadow banned. I get blacklisted. I get judged, get lied on. All because of me trying to step into my authenticity. And people not deserving, thinking that I don't deserve it. Whoever these idiots are, you do not dictate my life, nor will you ever. No matter how you feel you may have bought me, or if you think you own me. Those cords have been severed. They were severed when you left me in the ditch to die. But unfortunately for you, the divine had other plans. And now the memories of you, every day, every night, I live rent-free in your head, haunting your every decision. And yet you wonder why. As if I'm casting spells. Why would I waste my precious energy on an image of yourself? You're beneath me. You always have been beneath me. And the moment I realized that was the moment that you felt that I was beneath you. And again, What you tried to orchestrate me, the divine had other plans. Miracles are usually divine, guarded, and protected. It might be good and of your best interest to stay in your own lane. I'm really picking up on an energy in the karmic sphere extremely burnt out. They've literally been depleted to no end. They're grasping for supply. In collective, you have your boot on their neck. And now they're going to be coming back asking for mercy. The divine is telling me to tell you, you have every right to show mercy. But that does not require you to take off that boot off their neck. You could still show mercy and stand on business. You can still make choices and use discernment. We ultimately have free choice, but we are tested on the choices that we make. Understand, the more you love yourself and fill your own cup, the divine will match you. And whatever love that you receive from the divine, you will not be betrayed. And it is a dawn of a new age for you, the moment you realize that. That is your game changer. That is your sign that you are doing the right thing. Now, I talk a lot about karmic energy and karmic relationships in my chat, in my videos. I very rarely talk about the divine unions. A lot of us are kind of at the precipice of our lessons and the alchemy that comes with that. Turning our pain to power, calling our power back, finding our discernment and confidence, keeping the ego in check, and staying humble. The reason why I haven't spoken on divine connections is because to bring you to a perspective of union is very difficult to wrap your head around and understand. When two divine beings become one. The energy that they emit as a couple, it is felt worldwide. If they bear children, it is multiplied. It literally has the ability to heal the world. That is how powerful our magic is. If only we would believe in ourselves. And this is just energetics. This is just energy frequency. Has nothing to do with being or having or whatever else. This is just you as you are. Don't you find that any faith in self is looked down upon? Where you have to have faith in something outside of yourself? Even so, there's a faith of something outside of yourself. Where does that faith come from? It comes from within. Because without your faith, without your prayer, without your acclamation and confirmation, it is useless. It gives you false hope. Yet here a miracle sits, speaking on ancient wisdom. And you still wonder about the possibilities that maybe he's right. Maybe by opening up your mind, body, and soul, you can find out for yourself. The divine is waiting. Those that have been called, it is time to make your vow and tap into the divine. As individuals, we are great antennas. Together we make a satellite that not only shapes the form of our reality here on Earth, but it ties in with the balance and equilibrium of the universe within a bigger universe. And this is why we are having other life forms materialize. They are needing us to pay attention. It is not in their requirement to be here. It is not in their requirement as a species to leave their homeland to be here in this time and place. This also includes you, collective, as already chosen as light workers, shamans, earth angels, star seeds. You were not required to be here, but you chose to be here. And this is the memory. This is the remembering. The miracle is in the happening of opening up to the possibilities. Your life has the possibility to be so magical, so many confirmations and synchronicities, transformation, courage, inspiration. It's all there, deep within the crevices of your heart and soul. But it requires action, thought, and attention on your part. It's ultimately up to you. I posted earlier, out of all the 11,000 subscribers, where are you? And I've gotten 10 votes. Are you all in hermit mode? Going through your shit? Alchemizing it, transforming it, turning your pain to power? Be sure to put it in the comments whether or not you're still kicking around. And I want to see at least 10,000 likes on this video. If you want to hype up the video, go ahead. If these transmissions and channelings have served you and brought enlightenment, and you'd like to donate to my cause, it'd be greatly appreciated. You can throw me a tip, super chat, super thanks, super stickers, or become a member. I'm here to wake up the masses. I'm here to wake up the collective and help guide you on your journey. But it is you that must steps. I will only lead you there. I will not carry you. Why would I have to carry you if you could carry yourself? And what would be such a worry if we could carry each other? It's a frequency thing. To step into the most authentic version of ourselves is a frequency thing. To heal and release from our south node is a frequency thing. It is all frequency. The anxiety and panic you feel is simply a projection. Let it be a simple warning, but it shouldn't change your attitude. The thing about a divine union, when two people show up for each other wholeheartedly, and there's a transparency and an honesty and authenticity It is a relationship that is unbreakable. So if you're thinking you're in a divine union with someone and somebody's meddling with the energy, chances are they're meddling. But chances are if they meddle with your relationship and they can get one past you and get you in some sort of imbalance with your loved one, chances are they were karmic. Most light workers, most healers, it's been said that they need to be with a protector, someone that is willing to protect them because of their description is needed. However, it's more or less to protect themselves, that they can protect themselves and they could show up for you too as well. This isn't necessarily a physical strength, but a spiritual strength. The moment we recognize our true potential and true character, there will be a wave across the planet. There will be an awakening. And I do believe it's happening. I'm still here, collective. I've been lost in thought the last little bit here, wondering what else to say, because it's all been said. Amongst the karmic noise, it's all been said. The rest lies upon us. Where we feel that we do not have any say in it all, we do. When we feel that we're helpless, we don't know where to turn. Meanwhile, we were always supposed to turn into ourselves. To awaken, to evolve in the great remembering. All of our situations look different, so trying to cheat people's paperwork isn't going to work. We all have our own tests, our own trials and challenges. Some are bigger than others. Some are smaller than others. Some are greener than others. One day, one moment, one breath at a time, collective. One on the dial. Representing 3, October 3rd, on a Friday. We are in the process of a 369 portal. Look into and study the basis of 369. You will be quite surprised at what you find. I'm not giving you all the answers. I will be bringing a October harvest general collective for October. That will be tomorrow's live. So I return to check that out. It's basically to give us a little bit of a lowdown as to what we are in store for. Make sure some popcorn. If you feel that there may be a platform out there, this one, that you feel I could utilize in a way that would benefit me, feel free to throw that in the comments. Not to deter myself away from YouTube. However, if certain things happen a certain way that they are, I will be looking for other avenues other than YouTube to make me money, as long as they are within an ethical means. I'm not in the mood of or trafficked, so any intention behind that, may you receive divine vengeance and divine intervention. May you get what you deserve. I cut and I sever, I banish any cords, any soul contracts, any connections with any entity, with any person, with any thing or place that no longer serves my highest good. As I call my power back to me from anywhere, anyone, anything that chooses to send any ill will my way. It is mine, and it is not in consent to be utilized, to be siphoned, or to be stolen. I do not give consent, nor have I ever, nor will I ever. Any interest incurred by siphoning or stealing at what is not yours is tenfold blessed upon myself and my abundance and prosperity. Lay your intention to rest of my demise, for it will be alchemized into my rock by divine intervention, divine light, and divine vengeance, all in balance, as above, so below, as without, indefinitely, unapologetically, and so it is. Divine tribe, I'm ever so humble and grateful to have you a part of this journey. Please remain to be patient, consistent, focused, and use discernment in your endeavors. Continue to lead by example with authenticity and integrity. Together we will make the ripples that we will make into splashes. I'm grateful and humbled to be here, to be able to bring you these messages and channelings. If you'd like a personal reading, hit up the description box in the link section for Hipsy. Many different readings to choose from. Again, if you'd like to support the channel, there's many ways of doing that. Check out the description box for more details. Let's get you living the highest timeline, the one in alignment with your purpose, so that way we can rise together in the new earth. Starts with you being good to yourself, so that way you can be good to others. Thank you for joining me tonight, Collective, and I will catch you in the next video.